My name is Andy Kolker, and I'm one of the producers of
Getting Back to Abnormal, also produced by myself, Paul Steckler, and
Louis Alvarez and
Peter Odabashian.
Well, the film is about New Orleans 5 years after the storm. The film is about race, the film is about power, the film is about class, the film is about rebuilding. There are a lot of different ways in which New Orleans can rebuild itself. But in some ways, what I think we're most interested in is to see whether or not a city like New Orleans, even going through what it has gone through and what it will continue to go through over the next number of years, will be able to sort of preserve its uniqueness, preserve the things that really made New Orleans what it is. And for us, that's just, New Orleans is one of those cities which America can't lose. If it loses the city, if it loses that joie de vivre that that city has, it's kind of losing its soul.
You know, it's an easy city to be able to do cliches about. Okay, we've all seen Mardi Gras parades, you know, sort of traditional jazz, you know, kind of, you know, the French Quarter on Bourbon Street. Okay, that's the easy stuff, the streetcars early in the morning and the mist coming down St. Charles Avenue. But how do you actually film something with maybe some of those same images where you feel like you're in this place, which is just different? Okay, it just is. When you move down there for the first time, it feels surreal. It does not feel like part of the United States, even though it is. So how do you, in images that could be construed as cliche, you know, make you feel like you're part of this place? And that's a challenge even for filmmakers and other cities as well as we think we do.
There's another thing too, I think, because New Orleans is what it is, the media, the national media, other filmmakers, a lot of, you know, novels, whatever, have often gotten the city wrong. They've often not really reached, you know, the essence of what the place is all about. And for us as filmmakers, that's the kind of thing that we, and people who, I think we really do know the city fairly well. To get to that point, where you can really kind of show, well, you know what, this is kind of what the city, this is what it's about. It's not just Mardi Gras parades. It's not just you know, crawfish. It's not just gumbo. It's not just all the things that New Orleans presents to the rest of the world. You know, because it wants tourism, because it wants people to visit, because it sells those kinds of things. In fact, it's a lot more.
To us, I think this is sort of our payback. You know, the city that we love was almost destroyed. We want to go back, we want to get it right. Okay, we want to be able to be, you know, solid on the important issues there, but we want to be able to produce a piece of work which also really is true to what the city is, the way it feels, the way it smells, the way it decays, you know, and the way that people on the ground, because of the dysfunction of government, were forced to actually take and be empowered to be able to take into their own hands, to a certain extent, the rebuilding of their neighborhoods, the rebuilding of their infrastructure. And to a certain extent, in a really crazy New Orleans way, it's kind of inspirational.